Hello everyone. A frequently asked question about my investments is when will you start to sell? There's actually not a specific date for this, because my plan is to split my investments and sell them in 3 different phases. The amount of investments that I will sell in each phase all depends on the profit I can make. The first phase will be right after the BlizzCon announcement. The reason for this is because a lot of people have not prepared for TBC, mainly because they waited for TBC to be 100% confirmed. This is something that I will have to take advantage of, as there might be a higher demand than supply on the auction house. Some people might also start investing after the official announcement. These people will try to buy everything before it becomes too expensive, and this is something that we can make a huge profit on. If many people decide to sell their investments after BlizzCon and the supply is higher than the demand, then I will probably keep everything for the second or third phase. The second phase is 2 to 3 weeks before TBC. I expect a lot of people to resubscribe in this phase. This will give them time to find a guild or do the last preparations. Some people might also reroll professions, because professions is an important thing in Burning Crusade. One thing that was very important was that I didn't pay too much for each investment, and that's why I analyzed the market for 1 week, as this would give me a higher chance of making a decent profit. A decent profit for me was to get at least twice the gold that I spent. I've spent 20,000, but twice the gold is not a lot if I had only invested something like 1 or 2,000. If that would be the case, then I would probably keep all my investments for TBC. I'll talk a bit more about this in the third phase. But first, I want to show you some of my current investments and how everything is going so far. Here are some of the materials that I've invested into. The green price indicate the average price that I've paid for each, while the red price is the average price for each this month. The next thing indicates the difference between the green and the red average price. What we see is that all the investments has gone up with almost twice the amount, and some even all the way up to 6.5 times. This is a really good sign, because I was aiming for twice the amount of gold. I plan to sell the last part of my investments when people start to hit level 70 with the new races, or a few days before arena and raid release. Some people will also speed level the new races. This is to increase the chance of getting a raid spot. But if you speed level, then it's really important that you avoid doing professions at the same time, because professions will only slow you down. This also means that when they hit level 70, then they might go back to auction house and buy the materials they'll need for each profession, and this could cause the price to once again increase. This is a web page that I use to look up items and the average price. Go to the top right corner, and here you can choose between the different servers. Choose between Alliance or Horde, and once you have done this, go into the search bar and start looking for items. This will give us a lot of useful information. We can see the market value, minimum buyout, and quantity. But there's something that is way more important. We can actually see the price and how it has changed in the past 90 days. This piece of information is very useful when I have to decide if I should buy or sell an item. What we see in this case is that there's a huge demand but a low supply. So let's say you have a lot of these items. Now it might actually be a decent time to sell some of your investments. But I don't recommend that you sell all of your investments, as the price might continue to increase. But do remember that the price could always go down, and that's why I recommend not to store too many of the same items. If you have any unanswered questions, then feel free to ask in a comment below the video. If you would like to see all my investments and preparations that I do for Burning Crusade, then make sure to check out some of my other videos. As always, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.